I'm going to do a live walkthrough of a reading and writing section from the SAT. This is module 2 of practice test 1 that you can find online. Now I'm going to do all the even numbered questions, and as a result I'm going to give myself 17 minutes. Reason I'm not giving 16 because usually they give you 32 minutes, but that means I should do 16. The reason I'm going to give myself 17 minutes is that this is 33 questions instead of just 27. So because I'm doing more questions, I feel like I should get more time. That being said, let's get started. Monica Lopez Vera, have blank effect on the toxicity of venom. So it should probably be like a considerable effect. That is to see if differences in these traits are associated with considerable variations. So basically they're trying to see if biological characteristics have an impact on the toxicity, right? So whatever choice there should be here should be kind of like a synonym to considerable, or like there is an impact, right? So, okay, disconcerting is not really correct. Acceptable kind of seems correct, but I don't know if that's exactly what they want, because acceptable usually is like agreeing with something that's already there, or like, I guess, being approved, but there's no one really approving anything here. Imperceptible is the opposite of what we want. Substantial, yeah, substantial works. It's most like a synonym to the word, wait, that doesn't look right, okay. It's most like the word considerable and I guess perceptible, which is what we want to fill the blank. Next, question 4. Critics have asserted that fine art and fashion rarely blank in a world where artists create timeless works and designers periodically. Okay, so here we have a contrast between what artists and designers do. Artist and designer challenges this view. Her work can be seen. Okay, so Okuma challenges the view in that she's both an artist and a designer, right? So by doing both, that's how she's challenging the view. Therefore, rarely blank should be like, that means the blank should kind of be the word coexist, because they rarely are doing, like, you rarely see both of these existing simultaneously, right, due to their differences. That's how Okuma was able to contrast that. Therefore, whatever word I should see in this blank should be a synonym of the word coexist. So let's look through the choices. Travail, no. Succumb, no. Diverge, no. Intersect, yeah. Intersect is correct. The next, question 6. In studying the use of external stimuli to reduce the itching sensation, causalological stimuli response, police ward and colleagues found that harmless. Such, okay, harmless, temporary. Okay, such stimuli provide rest, leaves and stimulants. That seems less benign. So, okay, benign is kind of similar to like, benign means small, so it's kind of similar to harmless and temporary. Okay, so which choice is, all right. So deceptive is not really correct, because what they want you to do is, the contrast that they're kind of establishing here between like the small vibrations and the electric shock is that vibrations are kind of small and like weak, right? Like in relation to the electric shock, which is a lot more severe of a treatment. So whatever is in this blank should kind of be a synonym to the word like, yes, not severe, or like small, you know what I mean? So deceptive doesn't really fit there. Innocuous does actually fit that, right? And even if you didn't know what innocuous means, let's keep going through the choices. Novel does not work because that's not what they're talking about here. And impractical, you might think it's correct, but that's not really what impractical means. So yeah, the correct answer here is innocuous. Okay. Next, question 8. Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, governess. So Jane is a governess at Thornfield Hall. Okay. Why should quit? Okay, so she's peaceful, but she kind of wants to quit. So she keeps thinking about new situations. Okay. So, restlessness. That might be correct, because I know that it does seem like she is indeed calm, but in her mind she's thinking about all these things. Her B is not correct because it doesn't really. The people of Thornfield Hall, were never really mentioned, and her loyalty wasn't really talked about there. Demonstrate that challenging and deeply fulfilling. Well, the thing is, although she is thinking about all these different new situations, it doesn't really seem like she finds her current one challenging. I mean, she's pretty tranquil, right? Um, and fulfilling might be correct, but they never really talked about that, right? Describe determination to secure. Mm. Yeah, determination is not really right either because we're not seeing her make active efforts to go get a new job. She's just thinking about getting a new job. So I think the correct answer here should be A because again, yeah, she's definitely calm, but at the same time, in her mind, she's restless. Next is 10. The following text. Shakespeare's. We would toil hard in the bed. The dear pose would travel tired. Okay, so it's very. Oh, okay, it's addressed to a friend as if you're physically present. That means that the friend is not physically present. Okay. I heard in my bed. So the speaker is tired and wants to go to sleep, but he doesn't. He starts thinking. Thinking far from her body. So, and keep my drooping eyelids open wide. So they're sleepy, but they're not actually falling asleep because they're thinking about their friend. Okay. So A is not correct because they're still awake. B is they're not planning it out. You're not seeing them like, you know, plan that whole thing out, talk about food or whatever. Too fatigued to continue discussion. Well, they're not even having a discussion with the friend because the friend's not physically present, right? This is 1609, so they didn't have phones yet. The speaker is thinking about the friend instead of immediately. Yeah, that's what is going on. All right, next. Okay. Oh, pioneers of 1913 novel. Okay, so. Yeah, so based off these choices, how much the country meant to her, that is definitely an emotional connection, right? Sweetest music, she felt as if her heart were hiding down there. Yeah, that seems very correct. Um, this one, yeah, these are more like factual. None of them are talking as much about an emotional connection. So I pick A. 14. Let's see. Um, so okay, so they spilled the pens, and so what they're saying is that experiencing awe makes you nicer to other people, right? So what that should mean is the people who saw the tree should help out, like pick up the pens more than the people who didn't see the tree. Okay. Yeah. So the correct answer should be A. Okay, there you go. 16. Many archaeologists would say the categorizing. Yeah, so that means that thing is that what they're talking about at the beginning is an instinct developed over years of practice, which is not something that a computer can really get, right? So in that case, categorize much more quickly. Well, that's probably true, but I don't think that's really what they wanted to talk about here. Researchers claim that this is out like yeah. So the whole point being is that computers are definitely just as good, if not better, than archaeologists at this specific task, but the computer still can't replace the archaeologists. Meaning that the archaeologists, there's got to be something else that they're doing that allows them to be better than computers, right? So going to the choices, it looks like C is the only one that actually makes sense here, because that's the only one that can fit the researcher's claim. Remember, the question's asking about the researcher's claim. Ooh, that was terrible. All right. Okay. Question 18. Birds of many species. Okay, so some birds, even without being healthy, they make it look like they have a lot of carotenoids. Okay, so based off of that, because it seems like, yeah, some of these birds are lying about how healthy they actually are. So I think the correct answer should be D, because it's a dishonest signal, right? A is A doesn't. The signaling is based off carotenoids. That's why it can't be A. If other microstructures may be less effective, then yeah, it's not talking about that. The whole point is that they're trying to make it like manipulate the light to make it seem like they have that. That's why it should be D, because the other birds are judging off of appearance. Alvarez theory. Okay. Maintain the secondary effects of many animals to die out, but it left unexplored the question of whether unrelated volcanic activity may have also contributed. Okay, so it has to be either A or B, because you definitely need that transition word there. So you do need a pause there just to like make it flow better, right? When you're reading it out to yourself, it does seem like you need that comma there just to make it flow better. So that's why the answer choice is B here. How much time do we have? We have 5 minutes 30 seconds. All right. Lucia Mitchell. Okay. Observe that alkaline soils and soluble form of ions. Okay. So Michelle was determined to find out. So this should be kind of a question here, right? Yeah, so the answer has to be D, because this one that has a question word and a question mark. B is, of course, a hypothesis. You're not going to find out that, right? Okay, the first computerized spreadsheet. They are dependent on these changes, right? So prior to, okay, so that means these are two separate sentences, so you should probably have like a period or a semicolon there. So the answer should be C. Okay. Yeah. Question 26. Cheap, versatile, easy to produce. Okay, so whatever's coming here needs to be that cheap, versatile, easy to produce thing. So the answer choice has to be D. This is kind of a modifiers question. The reason that D is correct is because these three things are talking about plastics, right? If I were to select C, for example, that means that the problems are easy to produce, versatile, and cheap. But that's not true. It's the plastic. That's why the correct answer is D. Small flat structures called specially from the tips of the hair, especially temporary bond with the atoms of the attach. So then these structures on the spider's leg allow it to bond with other atoms. So yeah, it should be as a result, because these features is what allows it to have that function. Yeah. Before California's 1911 election. Okay, so in San Francisco, this sold tea. In Los Angeles, looks like, yeah, they also sold tea. So both of these are doing similar things. They're both examples of selling tea, right? It's not A because it's not adding on to that previous sentence. These are both examples, so the answer should be similarly, because they're both functioning the same way. They're both talking about similar ideas. Finally, question 32. 2 minutes 43 seconds left. When researching a topic, they've taken the following notes. Okay. Plant animal hybrid. feathers or snow leopards first. I have to check these paintings out later. Let's provide an explanation. Okay, so an explanation should probably talk about this definition you see here, and then example could be any one of these two. So let's go ahead. The term fauna. This gives an example, but this gives an explanation, but no example. I guess this kind of works because it's giving the definition and it gives an example. Who created nectar? No, doesn't explain it. And then, yeah, this doesn't explain it. So that's why the correct answer has to be B. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Really hope this helped you out. Good luck on the SAT.